Oh boy, here we are. It's nice that it's called Task 20. Nice number 20. Factorizing quadratic expressions. Learning objective to be able to factorize quadratic expressions. And we're going to look at expressions with only positive terms. So, for example, x squared, that's positive. The second term, 5x, positive, plus sign in front of it. The third term, the constant number only, doesn't vary, plus 6. And back in the day, you would never see this on a foundation paper. It was very much considered a grade B topic. Now, expect one of these towards the end of a foundation paper. Very much something that is considered grade 5, and we want to be able to get that grade 5. So what's the big idea or the big technique? And I've written it down. And before we look at that, actually, once you have a quadratic to factorize, what first thing that needs to come in your mind? Whoa, that moved. Oh, man, that shouldn't have happened. Right, the first thing that needs to come in your mind is that your answers, once they're in with these kind of questions, x squared plus 5x plus 6, the number in front of x squared is 1. We don't write that, so not greater than 1. Your answer is going to be in the form. It's going to be double brackets. That's how you get the quadratic. And you're going to have the x terms. So I can quickly write for number 2 my double brackets with x as one of the terms, because to get that x squared, it's going to be x times x from the work we've done with double brackets. So all of these questions are going to be, your solution is going to be of this form. Double brackets with x in each bracket, x times x will give you the x squared when you're multiplying out. And so the question now becomes, well, how do I figure out what two numbers go here? What am I going to add? And it's all going to be addition. That's the other thing, because we're only using the plus sign. So I can even put plus signs because it's all positive in these. So we're going to have that format. And then the game we have to play is what numbers are missing. What's the missing numbers? What number am I going to add to x in the first bracket? What am I going to add in the second bracket? First the second bracket, first the second bracket. That's the format anytime you have a quadratic, all positive terms to factorize. How do we figure out the missing numbers? And you can pause and read and do it for yourself. See if you understand the reading as opposed to listening to me. That's really great if you do that. But really, multiply together to give the constant. So I'm thinking two numbers. I need to multiply to get the 6, and the same two numbers I need to add to get the 5. Two numbers. I'm thinking I need to multiply to get the 12. I need to add to get the 8. That's what I'm describing. When I multiply together, I get the constant, the number by itself. What two numbers can I multiply to get 20? And when I add them, I get 9. That is what you're thinking. And how can we work that out? Well, the best way, what I recommend, is to focus on writing your factors of 6. That's why I put multiply together to give the constant first. So think, what are the factor pairs? Think in pairs. What two numbers, combinations of numbers, can I multiply to get 6? And then see which pair that you can use to get the 5, to add together to get 5. So 6, 1 times 6 would give 6. 1 times 6, that's a factor pair. But if I add 1 and 6, I'll get 7. I want 5. What's the other way? What's the other pair of factors for 6? 2 and 3. 2 times 3 will give you 6. And when you add 2 plus 3, 2 plus 3 gives 5. Cha-ching, cha-ching. The missing numbers, 2 and 3. That's your strategy in this. The form has to be double brackets with the x's. All the terms are positive, so it has to be the positive signs. And you're thinking, what two numbers can I put? And you're looking for factors of your constant. Factors of 12, that's what two numbers can I multiply to get 12? So factors of 12, that sum, when I add them, I get 8. And I think 12, 1 and 12, I do it systematically. That won't give me 8. 2 and 6, 6 twos are 12, and yes, 2 plus 6 gives me 8. You're missing numbers 2 and 6. X plus 2, x plus 6. Now note, could I put the 6 first and then the 2 after? Yes, you can. The order does not matter for multiplication. Let's go again for the third one. You should be finishing this up for yourself now. I'm thinking two numbers. I have to multiply to get 20. When I add, I get 9. I think 20 multiplying 1 times 20. 1 and 20 won't give me 9. 2 and 10 gives me 20. That won't give me 9. Does 3 go into 20? No. Does 4 go? Yes, 4 and 5. 5 fours and 20, and 5 plus 4 or 4 plus 5 will give me 9. Do the dance, do the dance. You've seen that method. This is the strategy for these questions. This is how you factorize a quadratic. When all the terms are positive, you ask yourself these two questions, you answer them successfully. Those will be your missing numbers. You know the format, you know the missing numbers. Here's a set of questions to do. By the way, A has something special in it. It is a little bit special. And what should you have? You should automatically know for all of these, you're going to have X. You're going to have another X, your double brackets, and it's all positive, so you're going to have a positive sign. And I've done this because on a foundation paper, it should be all positive. That's what should generally happen. If it's not, it gets more complicated, and we'll look at that in the next task. But off you go, do these. That's your format for all, what I've put in G. But what are the missing numbers? What do you multiply? And for the case of G, what do you multiply to get 15? And when you add them, two numbers, when you add them, you get 8. I multiply, I get 15. I add, I get 8. What are the two numbers? That's what you're looking for. Off you go to do this exercise. You pause, you pause. I'm going to pull up all the answers now. I'm going to write them in for you. You mark your work, please. I'll put all the answers in red. For the first one, you should have had, I would expect you x plus 2, x plus 2. But then, did you go a bit further and be a bit fancy? Is it the same expression in the bracket? So yes, you don't have to. This is correct. Job done. But you get a bonus point, extra star, if you put x plus 2 squared. Did you put that in? If you put that in, yeah, multiplying by itself squared, you can simplify it further. Did not have to. You would get full marks for x plus 2, x plus 2. D, we have x plus 6, x plus 1. C, your numbers would have been 3 and 5. J, you would have x plus 3, x plus 8. Multiply by x plus 8. For M, you would have x plus 3 multiplied by x plus 3. I just had an interesting moment. Let's put it like that. And for P, you would have x plus 6, x plus 5. Those are the answers you should have. Those are the answers for you should have. Now, what is it that you should have done that I didn't do, I didn't mention? I was testing you. What should you have done? Did you do it? You did the questions, and did you check? Did you check? Do you remember how to check? You can check by expanding the brackets. If you expanded the double brackets, that's your way of checking. So for the very last one, let's see if it works. In the exam, dedicate the time to check. X times x will give me x squared. Multiplying out, it's 4 multiplications for double brackets. Remember that. X times the plus 5 is plus 5x. Then 6 times the x is plus 6x. Then 6 times the 5 is plus 30. And if I have those terms, the two terms in the middle, we collect like terms. X squared plus 11x plus 30. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's what we mean. You're doing the reverse, expanding the bracket, you can check, and we know we are right because we made our check. Get in the habit of checking your questions. Now, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So we go with if you got 4 or more, you're moving on to task 21, if you would be so kind. If that is not the case, you're asking yourself this question again. If you've got 4 or more right, by. You're on task 21. I'll tell you hello in task 21. Don't worry. I'm waiting for you in task 21. Remember, what two numbers, when I multiply, I get the constant. What I add, I get the coefficient, the number in front of x. That's the idea you're thinking about. You have this examples to go over again, work through, go back on the video how I did these. Now I want you to do another rep of 6. Here you go. Here are, well, actually 7 questions. There's 3. No, what am I talking about? 6 questions. Ooh, 6 questions. Do these 6, and we want to get 4 or more. Come on, do it. This is so important. Particularly, this is the top end. If you're thinking you're gonna working towards a grade 5, this is on the top end of what you want to nail. And if you want to go beyond a grade 5, then absolutely critical. You should be getting all of these right if you want to be going beyond a grade 5. Absolutely critical. So let's do these. You have your pause, you have a go. I'm going to put up all the answers now. So you had your chance. You can still pause and have a go. Remember, it's trying. I'm just putting these answers, not just for you to write down answers, but for you to get feedback, to mark your work, okay, so that you know you're right. And if you're not right, I'm writing down the answers here. If you're not right, then you need extra help on this, and get in touch with a teacher to support the teacher on the team supporting you. That's what you want to do there. X plus 5 multiplied by x plus 2, and finally x plus 8 multiplied by x plus 1. And those are the answers. And what would have been brilliant is if after you did them, you did the expanding the bracket and checked. But those are your answers. Mark your work. In task 21, we will start exploring where it's not all positive signs, so we have to deal with our signs, our friends' negative numbers, and the rules for negatives. Multiplication and for multiplication of negatives comes in. That's in task 21. But that's all for quadratics factorizing when it's all positive terms. Done for now.